What if I told you that a single photograph could change the way we perceive history? That an image, frozen in time, can speak louder than words and leave a lasting imprint on humanity's collective memory? It's hard to imagine, isn't it? Yet, history has been captured not only in ink, but also in pixels, each frame holding a world of untold stories. Photographs have the power to transcend time, transforming mere moments into lasting legacies. Sometimes, a single image can do more than any text or speech. It can stir emotions, spark movements, and even change the course of history. The pictures we'll explore today are not just visual records. They are snapshots of profound truths, powerful human experiences, and pivotal moments that forever altered our world. Have you ever looked at a photograph and felt like you could hear the story behind it without a word being spoken? It's the raw emotion, the reality, and the truth captured in the frame that transcends language. From the haunting image of a child in a war-torn city to the celebratory moment of triumph on the moon's surface, each of these photographs tells a story that is more than just an image. It's a legacy. In the next few minutes, we'll dive deep into some of the most unforgettable photographs in history. These images aren't just moments frozen in time. They are windows into the very soul of human history. Stay with us, because what you're about to witness may change the way you see the world. 1. Vanishing Race, 1904. Edward Curtis's image of Native Americans. Edward Curtis's photograph, The Vanishing Race, taken in 1904, encapsulates the spirit of Native American culture during a time when it was being decimated by forced assimilation policies and the encroachment of white settlers. Curtis, a passionate photographer, believed that the traditional ways of life of Native American tribes were disappearing, and he sought to document their existence before they were lost forever. Not just a photograph, but a cry for preservation. A moment frozen in time before cultures vanished. Curtis's images, though deeply powerful, also stir up an ongoing debate over the ethics of representation. His subjects were often posed, not always reflecting the true realities of native life, but rather a romanticized version that fit his narrative. While Curtis's work is invaluable as a historical archive, it also reflects the tension between authenticity and artifice. In today's context, Native American leaders like Russell Means or Winona LaDuke continue to push for the preservation of indigenous culture, though now the preservation is fought for through activism rather than photography. This photo of a group of Native American men on horseback is a testament to Curtis's belief that their culture was fading, but it also serves as a reminder of how society often seeks to romanticize or memorialize what it is in danger of losing. 2nd, Alan Kurdi, 2015, the tragic photo of a Syrian refugee child. Alan Kurdi, a 3-year-old Syrian boy, became an unwilling icon of the refugee crisis when his lifeless body was found washed up on a Turkish beach in 2015. The photo, taken by journalist Nilüfer Demir, not only showed the devastating reality of the migrant crisis, but also sparked an international outcry over the conditions refugees were facing in their desperate attempts to flee conflict zones. A single image that transcended borders, awakening the world to the humanitarian disaster. The haunting image of Alan Kurdi's body highlighted the human cost of the Syrian civil war and the dangers faced by migrants attempting to cross the Mediterranean. World leaders, from Angela Merkel in Germany to Barack Obama in the US, were forced to confront the realities of refugee crises that they had long avoided. This image remains a powerful reminder of the need for compassion and urgency in solving the global refugee crisis. Today, figures like Pope Francis continue to call for empathy and action on behalf of displaced populations worldwide. Alan Kurdi's death, captured in that fateful photograph, is a symbol of the ongoing struggle that millions of refugees still face today. 3. Earthrise, 1968. NASA's iconic photo of Earth from the moon. The Earthrise photograph, taken by astronaut Bill Anders during the Apollo 8 mission in December 1968, is considered one of the most iconic images in space exploration. It shows the Earth rising above the barren, desolate surface of the Moon, with blue and white swirling clouds and oceans juxtaposed against the starkness of the lunar horizon. One image that forever changed how we view our planet and ourselves. The photograph of Earth from the Moon was more than just a scientific achievement. It symbolized humanity's shared home in the vastness of the cosmos. The astronauts on Apollo 8 had no idea how much their photograph would resonate with the world. The image instantly became a powerful symbol of environmental awareness and the fragility of our planet, influencing the environmental movement of the 1970s. Today, leaders like Greta Thunberg and organizations such as NASA continue to remind us of Earth's fragile nature, urging us to take better care of our planet for future generations. Earthrise serves as a reminder that no matter how far we go into space, Earth is all we have. 4. Mushroom cloud over Nagasaki, 1945. The atomic devastation. The chilling photograph of the mushroom cloud over Nagasaki, captured by U.S. Army photographer Charles Levy, documents the moment after the atomic bomb was dropped on the city in August 1945. The massive column of smoke and debris towered over 60,000 feet into the sky, forever changing the course of history. A towering reminder of the destructive power unleashed, never to be forgotten. This photograph is not just a visual record of war. It is a stark reminder of the horrors of nuclear weapons. After the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the global community reeled from the sheer scale of human suffering and the moral questions surrounding the use of atomic bombs. Leaders such as Dwight D. Eisenhower and Harry Truman defended the decision, while critics like Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer, father of the atomic bomb, later expressed deep regret over the bomb's use. The legacy of these images still impacts global politics today, as nuclear disarmament remains a key issue. Nations like North Korea and Iran continue to develop nuclear weapons, while organizations like the United Nations and International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, strive for control and eventual disarmament. 5. Pillars of Creation, 1995. The Hubble Space Telescope's breathtaking image. The Pillars of Creation image, taken by the Hubble Space Telescope in 1995, shows towering columns of gas and dust in the Eagle Nebula, located 6,500 to 7,000 light-years from Earth. These celestial pillars are both the birthplace and graveyard of stars, where new stars are formed and older ones die. When we look at the stars, we look at the very building blocks of life itself. The Pillars of Creation image opened a window into the awe-inspiring beauty of the universe, reminding us of how small and yet connected we are to the vastness of space. Figures like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan have used such images to advocate for space exploration and to spark wonder in the public imagination about our place in the universe. This image is also a reminder of humanity's endless pursuit of knowledge. It teaches us that even in the midst of tragedy and chaos on Earth, the universe is full of beauty and possibility. We should strive to look to the stars not only for answers, but for inspiration. 6. Fire escape collapse, 1975. A heartbreaking moment in Boston. On July 22, 1975, Stanley Foreman captured a tragic moment as Diana Bryant and her 2-year-old goddaughter T.R. Jones fell from a fire escape in a Boston apartment building. The fire escape had collapsed just as a fire truck's ladder was trying to rescue them. A photograph frozen in midair, showing the unbearable reality of life or death moments. This image became iconic for its raw depiction of human vulnerability. It illustrated the often overlooked dangers of poor urban infrastructure, as well as the resilience of those who face such circumstances. Mayor Kevin White of Boston, in the aftermath, pushed for stricter building codes and fire escape regulations, making this photo a catalyst for change in public safety. The lesson here is simple yet profound. How often do we take our safety for granted? This tragic image reminds us that systems and structures we depend on can fail, and in those moments, it is often the most vulnerable who pay the price. 7. Man on the Moon, 1969. Neil Armstrong's historic first step. On July 20, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step onto the surface of the moon, followed closely by Buzz Aldrin. The image of Armstrong's footprints on the lunar surface is one of the most iconic photos in history, a giant leap for mankind, and a photograph that captured the triumph of human spirit. This moment was more than just a technological achievement. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. It marked the culmination of the space race between the US and the Soviet Union, a moment that brought the world together, transcending borders. John F. Kennedy's famous speech in 1961, calling for America to land a man on the moon, became reality with Armstrong's step. In today's world, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, through their space companies, continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, building on the legacy of that first step on the moon. 8. Jewish boy surrenders, 1943. An iconic Holocaust image. The photograph titled Jewish Boy Surrenders, taken during the horrors of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1943, depicts a young Jewish child raising his hands in surrender to Nazi soldiers. The image is haunting not only because of its vulnerability, but because it encapsulates the brutal reality of the Holocaust, where innocence was no protection from unimaginable suffering. A single moment of terror frozen in time, a symbol of lost innocence during humanity's darkest days. This image strikes at the heart of the human cost of the Holocaust, an atrocity where over 6 million Jews were murdered by the Nazi regime. While Adolf Hitler and his generals orchestrated the death and destruction, this photograph symbolizes the everyday lives destroyed by this genocide. The child in the photo is a victim of systematic cruelty, representing the millions of children who perished during this dark period in history. The photograph still stirs up deep emotions today. Figures like Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate, have spent their lives educating the world about the atrocities committed and advocating for remembrance. It also serves as a reminder of the importance of tolerance and human rights. As we witness the rise of extremism and hate groups in modern society, the lessons of the Holocaust continue to ring loud and clear. 9. Bloody Saturday, 1937. The cry of a baby amid destruction. In the midst of the Sino-Japanese War, Bloody Saturday refers to a photograph captured during the Battle of Shanghai in 1937. The image shows a baby crying amidst the ruins of a city, torn apart by bombings and gunfire. It is a visual representation of the devastation wrought by the Japanese invasion and the innocents caught in the crossfire. In the chaos of war, a child's cry is a haunting reminder of innocence shattered by violence. The photograph was not only a wake-up call to the brutality of the war, but also a catalyst for international awareness of the human cost of global conflicts. During this period, Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of the Republic of China, was struggling to defend his country against Japanese forces. Yet the image also humanized the Chinese civilians who were bearing the brunt of the invasion. In modern times, this image resonates deeply with ongoing conflicts, such as the war in Syria or the humanitarian crises in Yemen. It's a timeless reminder that the real cost of war is not measured in strategies or political outcomes, but in the lives of ordinary people, especially children, who have no say in the battles fought around them. 10th, Migrant Mother, 1936, Dorothea Lange's poignant photo. One of the most iconic photographs from the Great Depression, Dorothea Lange's Migrant Mother, captures a worried mother holding her children, her face a portrait of exhaustion and desperation. Taken in Nipomo, California, the photo is a stark symbol of the widespread poverty and suffering experienced by migrant workers during the 1930s. A moment of resilience frozen in time, a mother's love in the face of overwhelming adversity. Lange's photograph was part of a government initiative to document the effects of the Great Depression on American families, and it became a symbol of both the resilience and hardship faced by millions of families. It speaks to the strength of a mother's love and sacrifice, but also to the crushing poverty that gripped the nation. Lange's work was instrumental in humanizing the plight of the poor during the Great Depression, leading to policy changes and greater attention from the American public. Figures like Franklin D. Roosevelt and Eleanor Roosevelt used the image as a springboard for the New Deal programs, which sought to alleviate poverty and provide relief to the most vulnerable. Today, the image continues to evoke empathy and compassion, inspiring modern-day activists and leaders like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who continue to fight for social justice and economic equality. 11th, Hindenburg Disaster, 1937. The fiery end of the Hindenburg. The Hindenburg disaster occurred on May 6, 1937, when the German Zeppelin LZ-129 Hindenburg caught fire while attempting to land in Lakehurst, New Jersey. The tragic moment was captured in a photo that shows the massive airship engulfed in flames. The photo remains one of the most powerful images of technological disaster in history, a towering symbol of technological ambition, gone tragically wrong in a moment of fiery destruction. The Hindenburg, which was touted as a marvel of engineering, was intended to revolutionize air travel. Yet its sudden and dramatic demise shattered the public's faith in airships and marked the end of an era for the once promising technology. While the exact cause of the disaster remains debated, the image of the Hindenburg crashing into flames is an indelible moment in the collective consciousness. In contemporary terms, it's a reminder of the limits of technology and the need for caution and oversight. Today, with the rise of new technologies like AI, biotechnology, and space travel, the Hindenburg disaster serves as a cautionary tale about the unforeseen consequences of pushing technological boundaries without considering the potential risks. 12th, flag raising on Iwo Jima, 1945. U.S. Marines raising the American flag. The photograph of U.S. Marines raising the American flag on Mount Suribachi during the Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945 is one of the most iconic images from World War II. Captured by photographer Joe Rosenthal, the image symbolizes the courage, sacrifice, and determination of American soldiers during the war. A symbol of victory, sacrifice, and unity, etched forever in the American consciousness. The flag raising on Iwo Jima became a symbol of American patriotism and determination, and it was used to rally support for the war effort. The photo was so powerful that it was reproduced on war bonds, helping to fund the war. The image is still remembered today, especially on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, as a testament to the sacrifices made by U.S. servicemen and women. In the context of leadership and resilience, figures like Dwight D. Eisenhower and Douglas MacArthur emphasize the strategic importance of Iwo Jima. But the photo transcends military strategy. It represents the human spirit's ability to persevere through unimaginable hardship. Today, as new generations continue to honor veterans, the Iwo Jima flag raising serves as a reminder of the high cost of freedom and the responsibility to protect it. 13. Gandhi and the Spinning Wheel, 1930s. Gandhi, using the spinning wheel as a symbol of self-reliance. In the 1930s, Mahatma Gandhi became an international icon not just for his philosophy of nonviolence, but also for his advocacy of self-reliance through the use of the spinning wheel. The photo of Gandhi with his wheel became a powerful symbol of the Indian independence movement, advocating for self-sufficiency and independence from British colonial rule. A quiet symbol of resistance that spoke louder than words, Gandhi's spinning wheel of revolution. Gandhi's use of the spinning wheel, known as the charkha, was both a political statement and a call to action. It symbolized the need for economic independence and the rejection of British-made goods. His image inspired millions of Indians to take up the spinning wheel as part of their daily lives, and it became a national symbol of resistance to colonial rule. Today, the image of Gandhi and his spinning wheel is still invoked by figures like Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and other leaders advocating for economic self-reliance. It is a reminder that sometimes the smallest acts of resistance can lead to the largest revolutions. 14th D-Day, 1944. Soldiers landing on Omaha Beach. During World War II, the photograph of U.S. soldiers landing on Omaha Beach during D-Day in June 1944 is one of the most dramatic images of World War. The photo, showing soldiers wading through waist-high water with explosions going off around them, is a testament to the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought during the invasion of Normandy. A defining moment in the fight for freedom, a snapshot of sacrifice during history's greatest conflict. The D-Day landings were the turning point of World War II, leading to the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. Figures like General Dwight D. Eisenhower and Winston Churchill oversaw the planning of the invasion, but it was the soldiers on the beaches who made it a reality. The image of these soldiers facing insurmountable odds speaks to the resilience and courage of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable danger. The lessons of D-Day continue to resonate in the modern world, as we see international cooperation in efforts like NATO or in the fight against global terrorism. The bravery of these soldiers reminds us that freedom is often won at great personal cost and that liberty is something worth fighting for. The Face of AIDS, 1990. A tragic photo of David Kirby, dying from AIDS. In 1990, David Kirby, a 32-year-old man, became the face of the AIDS epidemic when a photograph was taken of him lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by his family, as he succumbed to the disease. The photo, taken by Teresa K.S. One man's pain turned into a powerful call to action against an invisible killer. David Kirby's final moments are a reminder of the AIDS crisis that rocked the world. Kirby's photo became one of the most tragic and poignant images of the AIDS crisis in the United States during the late 1980s and early 1990s. His death and the photograph of his deteriorating body helped put a human face on an epidemic that many at the time misunderstood or stigmatized. The photo sparked outrage and empathy, leading to increased advocacy for research, treatment, and acceptance of those suffering from the disease. As the face of AIDS, David Kirby's story became intertwined with the broader fight against HIV/AIDS, and leaders like Magic Johnson, who publicly revealed his own HIV status, and activists such as Ryan White, pushed for greater awareness and support for people living with the disease. The photo ultimately helped to change public perception of the virus, shifting it from a marginalized issue to one that demanded urgent attention. In today's world, the image still serves as a reminder of the ongoing fight against HIV/AIDS. While significant progress has been made in treatment and prevention, the stigma and global inequality that contribute to the spread of the virus still require collective action and compassion. David Kirby's story continues to be a powerful motivator for change in the ongoing fight against this disease. 16. First camera phone photo, 1997. The first ever photo sent via a camera phone. In 1997, Philippe Kahn, a French-American entrepreneur, captured the first ever photograph using a camera phone. The image, which Kahn sent to friends via email, marked the beginning of the mobile phone revolution that would forever change how we communicate and capture memories. The moment technology forever changed how we capture life. One click, one photo at a time. This seemingly simple photograph of Kahn's daughter became a milestone in the evolution of mobile technology. Before the camera phone, photographs were captured with traditional cameras, developed in a darkroom, and printed on film. Kahn's innovation allowed for real-time sharing and revolutionized the way the world interacted with images. Today, nearly everyone has a camera in their pocket, and images are shared instantly on social media platforms, from Instagram to Snapchat. Figures like Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and Evan Spiegel have capitalized on this shift in communication, building multi-billion-dollar companies that thrive on user-generated content. Yet the simplicity of Kahn's first camera phone photo remains a symbol of how far we've come in a short amount of time. As we look forward, this breakthrough in photography has set the stage for future innovations in imaging technology, such as AR filters and real-time photo editing. The rapid pace of technological advancement continues to change how we record and share our lives, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. These images we've explored are not just photographs. They are the heartbeat of history itself. They challenge us to confront uncomfortable truths, to reflect on the consequences of our actions, and to recognize the shared humanity that binds us all. From the heartbreaking to the awe-inspiring, these images remind us that photography is more than an art. It is a tool for storytelling, a mirror reflecting the world's most profound moments, and sometimes its darkest corners. The next time you look at a photograph, pause. Understand that it's not just a snapshot, it's a story of triumph or tragedy, of hope or despair, of moments frozen in time that have shaped the course of humanity. What story do you want to tell with your own photographs? Because, as history shows us, images have the power to change the world, and they always will.